Greetings, every peoples. This is your cult of personality. This is the me that does the things. I'm interrupting myself because no, too bad. I interrupted myself for once. I interrupted myself for once because I don't give a shit. And there goes the PG rating, also out the window. So, welcome to Roundtable's Magic, the show where we talk about poems and also other crazy shit. I'm ToonKritic. You know me. You know everybody here. But let's just go through the introductions anyway. We have British Ninja.
We finally broke him, folks.
We have Keyframe and Golden Fox.
Hello.
We have
Prepare yourselves, this is going to be a bumpy ride.
Voice of Reason is at dinner, but that's okay. He's doing stuff. That's fine, I'll probably join us shortly. We have Lightning Bliss, speaking of short. Haha, short joke, because that's always funny.
Yes, and a special shout out to Science Rail. I'm sure you're working on the railroads right now, wherever you are, but I hope you're not working too hard, dude, and hope you appreciate the little shout out, because I appreciate your support. Boop!
Yes.
And we have our special guest today we've picked from the chat to represent the chat. It's not often that I bring especially fresh talent on here, but it's cool because in this case it actually works. We get today for our special guest, Prophetic Prose.
I don't know about talent, but okay, hi.
She's new, she's cool, she's all hip with the groove and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna just stop beating around the bush. Today's episode we're talking about is Honest Apple. Needless to say, we all have very different opinions on this, and if we rip each other's heads off and this is the last you hear of us, let this be the episode where all the friendships break. So, fuck it, who cares?
So this is Mario Party?
So this episode is Mario Party then.
Yes, this is no longer Roundtable's Magic. This is Roundtable's Mario Party. Place your bets. Who's going to be the first to crack and rip each other's heads off? I don't know. I don't care.
Or the
Who
first
wants
to die in
first?
bumper balls.
So we're going with the positives, I'm assuming.
Yes, let's warm up with the positives. Who
I
wants
want
to
to go
first?
for.
Go ahead,
I wanna
Kiki.
Okay, my positive. I actually, besides the first design that the Inky Rose character made, I actually really liked the designs that the fashion designers had in the episode. I mean, it's especially my favorite was the lace, the literally girl. I loved her ball gowns. They gave me like a Disney princess vibe, and I thought that they actually looked really damn cute, and I really liked them. And with that, I like the designs of the fashion designers themselves. I really like Inky Rose. I like the tall, gothy looking girl. Literally girl was cute. She kind of reminded me.
Avon.
Her pink lemonade.
Oh, you mean Rainbow Bride?
Shut up!
Her pink lemonade look kind of reminded me of Andrea Libman's Pony Sona, honestly, and I don't know his name, so I just call him Tim Gunhorse. His hair, oh my goodness, I love his mane.
I think his name is Starstreak.
Yeah, it's not very often that you get a male character with pink hair that I like, and I really liked his. So yeah, that was my positive. I think design-wise, the fashion designers were pretty cool, and so were their products. And Applejack will disagree with me, but whatever. So I'm going to pass this off to our guest.
Oh, okay. Well, I was actually going to talk about the new characters too, but I specifically have a bit of a soft spot for Inky Rose because I don't know. I just have a thing for goth characters in general, like Inky Rose herself and the pony who's, I think her name was Moonlight Raven from Cantaloupe Boutique. I have a thing for goth characters, and I don't think I've seen a female pony with a tall, like, lanky design like that, and I appreciate that too. I just appreciate them doing different shapes things with the characters in the show. Yeah, and
definitely.
And to quote something that my boyfriend said, insert all of the Ink Rose jokes here.
Oh my god. No, I can definitely see why. I mean, Inky Rose is like kind of the same reason why I enjoy like the character Maud Pie and that one brief character in Cantaloupe Boutique. The one's like, This dress makes me look like a princess.
Yes.
So,
Wow. This dress completely speaks to my soul.
I don't know what it is about those kind of characters in MLP, but somehow it works.
I like to think I'm decent at doing that voice.
That's the Lacy Lace character is kind of like you take the goth character from Canterlot Boutique's voice and mixed it in with the happy sunny character in Canterlot Boutique.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm trying to remember her name. I can't remember what it is now. I can't remember. Dang it. Hi, Chuggle.
You're okay.
So yeah, now that you said you're positive, just pass it on to someone else.
Okay, I think I would like to pass it on to Blissy.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
My positive. I'm sure somebody is going to be mad at me for taking this. I do apologize. Rarity shredded it on a 2-string pick.
Oh, yes.
My God.
Yeah.
How? Okay,
awesome.
first off, I can't stress this enough, but hooves.
How
But
do?
now to top it off, that it was a banjo practically with 2 strings, and somehow she ripped it up to hardcore rock.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, either the magic of music or the magic of frustration amplified into this instrument. Holy cow! I mean, and I don't expect that from her. I mean, that was like cartoon left field logic, and it's kind of like what Keeper says with Pinkie Pie, that Pinkie is the symbol of the cartoon logic. We need that in our lives to remind us, oh, this is a cartoon. Well, there you go. Rarity did it this time.
I loved Pinkie's reaction to it too. It was great.
At this point, I typed it in the chat. Rarity is the MLP version of James Hetfield of Metallica. Because whenever he goes, he gets angry or he gets mad, he takes his anger out on just writing down poetry, and those become lyrics of whatever songs that he writes for Metallica.
You know, that's actually something I did too recently, because I was in an argument with a friend. I was really frustrated, and I wrote a poem that basically the message of that was like, just, I'm human, I make mistakes, why are you mad at me? And that ended up being a really good poem, actually. A lot of people like it.
But yeah, just one of those. It's one of those moments where you don't expect it, and it's hilarious. And I mean, again, Rarity's like your classy type of pony. You think she would play something a little bit more soothing, or something classical, like
Just
it would call like
pure
a
rage.
violin or a harp.
It
You know,
inverts your
freaking rock and roll song.
expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came completely out of nowhere. I just thought it was hilarious. I was laughing immediately afterwards. That was awesome.
So I will pick between the males here. The males, the stallions, the buckaroos.
Did you just assume?
Did you assume my gender?
Oh my god.
You
Hi, Tumblr.
little citizen girl, Ninja.
Hello?
Well, in that case, Ninja, what is your positive?
Right, well, I think that Applejack was perfectly fine up until a point, and that's when they hit her with the idiot stick. But hey, I want to focus on the positive here. Her job as a critic in this competition was to give her opinion to these people, and she was chosen because she was the average Joe, your everyday sort of filly, and not some pretentious art critic. Because even if these clothes are meant for high society people only, you're still going to have to make clothes for normal people eventually. And she was also picked because she was experienced with practicality in clothing, which is an incredibly important factor, because no matter the artistic meaning behind these clothes, you still got to be able to wear them. And I think that her criticism, up until a point, was completely fair and reasonable, considering her role on this panel of judges. Now, yeah, she went over the board when she personally intervened to rip up the clothes herself, but I feel like that was done so that we can have Rarity be in the right for the episode's sake. So yeah, aside from that, Applejack did nothing wrong. She was perfect. 10 out of 10 would watch as an analyst. complete.
Yeah, yeah. Like for the most part, she was really just doing her job.
Alrighty, I'm gonna pass it on to Voice of Reason, who has joined us.
Hi, boys.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so what has been said so far?
We're talking about positives.
We're in the positives about Honest Apple right now.
Yes, I've talked about how Applejack did nothing wrong. Keyframe talked about
character
oh wait, I
design.
forgot. Character design, that's right.
Keyframe talked about the character designs of the new designers, and I talked specifically about Inky Rose because I just like goth characters.
And I
And
talked
then-
about Rarity shredding it up.
Yeah, the guitar. That was yes.
Okay, thing I liked about Honest
You might want to turn your
Apple.
mic volume up a bit, boys.
You're a tad quiet.
Okay,
Yeah.
thing I liked about Honest Apple. 1 second. Actually, while I'm doing that, I'm going to be thinking of a thing I enjoyed about Honest Apple. That's okay. That's a little
There you
higher.
go.
There we go.
That's better.
All right. Thing I
Yeah.
liked about thing I liked about Honest Apple. I'm gonna piggyback off of British Ninja because I completely relate to Applejack in this situation. I'm not a fashion forward person. I just wear clothes because it's comfortable and it fits me.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
when I was watching like Applejack observe like observe and give her criticisms of like certain like some of the artwork, with the exception of what was the millennial pony? What was her name?
I just call her.
Lily
Lily.
Lace.
I just
Right.
call
Her name is Lily Lace. Yes.
I
Lily
just
Lace.
called
I call
I
her
just called
Lily
her-
literally. Lily literally.
Lily literally.
I
Okay.
call her Rainbow
well-
Bright.
Well, I call her the millennial.
Millennium.
Well, yeah, but essentially, I actually admired some of the criticism that Applejack was giving, like with the futurists. Like, okay, do you have a working design that people would wear in this? And my favorite criticism, and I always have, when Inky Rose like ripped up the jeans. Like, it's like, why would you rip up jeans and use that as a fashion statement when you could just have like jeans at home and you could just rip them up yourself for less price? Thank you, Applejack. I hate that design in
Yes.
pants. Like
Wasn't
that's
it
been
like
I mean,
sorry.
that's been a complaint of mine since I was like 16.
If I could just pause for a second, too, and people are in the chat saying that your chat on screen is frozen.
Is it? That's weird.
Yeah, your actual stream chat is frozen. Not the chat on Twitch, but like the one that we can see through the video, that's completely frozen.
Ooh.
Also, didn't like Kanye West's like ripped PJs that he used to wear, also like jeans that he used to wear, like sell for like $1,000 or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I mean,
so
I don't mind when people have holes in their jeans if they made the holes themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like Debbie from Wild Thornberries.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. That's better, too.
Mom.
But don't buy things because there's holes in it.
I
don't like that either.
I do like the way it looks, but it does just make more sense to just rip them yourselves if you're gonna wear them like that.
Do people get with trypophobia get like a little triggered by clothes with holes in them?
Well, trypophobia is if there's a lot of small holes collected in one big mass. Which, if someone made that for fucking jeans, that first of all, a lot of effort. Kudos, clap, clap. But
Not textiles.
also, what's wrong with you?
Yes, you're a horrible sick person.
Anyway, I'll pass it to Fox.
Okay. Much like a couple of other episodes, I like it when they're having some callback characters like Photo Finish and Hoity Toity, because it definitely like reminds the viewers that, hey, these were characters in the past, and you know it shows that they're not forgetting anything when it comes to this show going on. Because before then, I used to think that they would just make new character after new character after new character without utilizing them. And here, it's one of those examples where you bring them back for a reason, And it's for the obvious reason as to why Hoity Toity and Photo Finish are here. There are a few other, not contestants, but judges. So it's on a similar thing of how I felt about Gilda making a return in the Griffinstone episode, but that episode was a hell of a lot better. But that's really no, that's really all I can say about the positive of Honest Apple. So I guess Toon is the last one.
Looks like I am. Okay, so
Yep.
positive in this. Well, I'm actually in the little tiny boat over here that's like, hey, I'm glad we got photo finish and hoity-toity back. You know, even though even though the rules weren't as well bigger as we wanted them to be, they were there. They at least got a little bit more to do. It's a nice callback to previous seasons. I personally love photo finish. I think she's a great character. I think the fandom's done a great job with her as well. So it's good to use them as the examples, but it just makes me wonder, are fashion critics like seriously like this? Like, I've seen my fair share of like fashion shows. I've seen America's Next Top Model. I don't quite think this is how open they are with their thoughts.
Well, if you've seen like America's Next Top Model and also Project Runway, like Tim Gunn is very critical. But other than that, they are modeled after two fashion icons, Anna Wintour and Karl Lagerfeld.
Oh, that's nice.
I think that's how you pronounce. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Yeah, that was like way back in like season 1. Everyone made the Anna Wintour comparisons because she had the same hair, the huge glasses.
Well, at least we can actually use these, and it's not like we're going to get the Coco Pamel situation all over again. Thank God.
I still call her Coco Pamel. I don't care.
No, but it's really nice. I think that these two characters, along with Rarity, help actually balance out the judges' perspectives. And then you got Applejack over there. They're just like, I like it. I like it. I also like it. It sucks.
As if Applejack is Simon.
This episode should have been called Honest Apple. This episode should have been called Everybody's a Critic.
I'll get to that in a minute.
So let's see here. Oh. So, I'm the last one?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I get to your negatives.
Here comes cartoons.
Oh, negatives. Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I'm already here for this. Oh boy. Okay. This episode. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. But I know that Ninja and Voice and a few others have something to say about it. So I'm just gonna get the ball rolling. They're all wrong. But the thing with this episode you have to understand. You need to learn to take criticism. It is...
The heck?
No idea
hello?
what this.
Hello?
What was that?
Voice, what?
What?
Go-
I'm not doing
Golden.
anything.
Is
What?
your like microphone being eaten by a dog or something?
What?
What the hell was that?
Something was scratching.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Is it still going?
No.
I don't
No.
hear it.
What were you doing?
What was that?
That is an excellent
I
question.
don't
I have
know.
no clue.
We're gonna.
I
Sorry,
didn't
ladies and
hear
gentlemen,
anything,
we are
so
going
I don't know what happened.
Okay, Golden. It
Okay.
sounded like a dog had just ran up and started licking your microphone or something like that.
Okay, that has to be a serious, like, weird functionality. You know what? Hang
It
on.
sounded like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I think it's just resetting.
Do you want to continue the cartoons rant?
Yes, right, okay. Lost my train of thought. Derailed, but I kind of put it back on the rails. Alright, so here's the thing. Everybody
That
in
was-
life needs to learn to take criticism. Because if you can't take criticism, then you have no place being out in the world. If you can't take criticism, that means that you're a little cinnamon roll who doesn't want their fifis hurt. Criticism comes and goes in positive and negative ways. There's good criticism, there's constructive criticism, and then there's I'm right criticism, which is bullshit, because nobody should have that mentality where they think they're right. Hello, hate to break it to you, but there's no such thing as a right opinion. There's also no such thing as a wrong opinion. So when you really break it down, everybody's wrong and everybody's right, and the universe fucking blows up because it can't make up its mind. So you have to learn to take criticism, whether you're in the fashion industry, whether you're in the YouTube industry, whether you're in the car making industry, whether you're in the movie industry, TV industry, no matter where you are. Criticism is what makes us better. It's what helps us get better through improvement and self-reflection. If you can't handle that, get the fuck out. And this episode is one of the best examples of showing that, yes, there are different sides to criticism. Even though it's handled wrongly, you gotta admit, there's a point. There is at least some point when it comes to the criticism being given. Some guy could tell you the right thing, but they could say it like, you know, like an asshole way. Just like, yeah, you suck, but let me follow up why you suck. Okay, thanks. Can we try that over again without you saying we suck, though? Okay? No? Alright, whatever. Just learn to take criticism.
Strawberry Sunrise.
Just take criticism. Take it the best way that you can. And if you can't, then you have no business doing what you do. Because that's the only way you're going to improve. And
I'm looking at you, Derek Savage.
He's the guy who made Cool Cat, for anyone who's missing the context for that.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
That guy.
Was that what it was, Gordon? Did Cool Cat come up and lick your microphone?
I guess.
You know what? If that's the case,
I want you. Hey
guys,
it's
Cool Cat.
Yeah, no. If Cool Cat was really doing that, I would grab his head and grind his face into the concrete pavement because he's got no business being around me.
I would call the police and see how he got in my house.
Yeah, I'm sorry to get this violent, but yeah.
You are a violent person, Brett. That concerns me.
Okay, I wouldn't really do that to somebody in real life.
No.
I do.
Anyways, sorry. Okay, let's continue on with the podcast. I'm delaying.
Okay. Who went before
I
voice?
believe it was Fox who was before me? Yes.
Go. Yes.
Oh, so it was my turn. Oh,
yeah, it is your turn anyway, so.
Okay, this is kind of cheating when I say that I have like two things to make about it. Basically, this whole episode just did not feel fun to watch. Like, there are some positive things I can give out to, and I like Inky Rose, and I like that we have these callback characters, but the whole episode just felt unpleasant to watch. Yeah. And it sounds like I'm generalizing the entire episode, but the thing that also gets me, and this is kind of drawn back to what Cartoon said, that's the kind of impression I had at first, that criticism is important, and it's also something you should be careful about when addressing it. I just think that this whole topic was not tackled on very well.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole moral, it sounds like, on the one hand, you can say that the episode's moral is, there's having an opinion, but know how to control your opinion. But at the same time, some people could take this as, you know, you have to be honest with your opinion and everything and using the opinion card, but it sounds like you shouldn't really have your opinion in the first place, or you should always keep it to yourself, which I think is destructive. So it just feels a little confusing. Like, it just feels very muddy and unclear, while the rest of the episode just feels very unpleasant to sit through. And I'm not going to find myself very coming back to watching anytime soon. And overall, this is my least favorite episode this season.
I don't blame you. I had a really hard time watching this one too, and that is very sad for me to say because it's Applejack episode, and I love you, Applejack. Why do you keep doing this today?
I really wish that the writers could do something much better with than what they did here, but I'm not going to meander too much. So, who went?
I was.
Me?
Yeah,
okay,
Voice.
Yeah, Voice. I'll go ahead and pass it on to you.
Now, this is hard because I actually didn't mind that. The way I interpreted the moral, at least in this part, is remember where Rarity took Applejack to Strawberry Sunrise.
Strawberry Sunrise.
Yeah.
With Strawberry Sunrise, and we're talking about if someone trying to figure out again, they put their work, their hard work and passion into this, and you're bringing them down a peg. Actually, I thought that was honestly that was like one of the best moments in one of the best moments in that episode, and I actually really admired both Rarity and Applejack for bringing her to that, and also admired the lesson. But as for a negative that I could think of. I've watched funnier episodes. Yeah,
this is a very dry episode. This is just drier than Arizona dry.
Yeah.
No,
somebody said it.
I mean, there were funny moments, like again where Rarity took Applejack to Strawberry Sunrise and just knocked her down a peg. I thought that was funny, and there were. I think
still love the part with Rarity playing the guitar too. That's always gonna.
Yeah, actually, that part just can't that was a little out of left. That was a little out left field.
But in a way that made me laugh way too much.
Yeah, I think that'll be my negative. That part just kind of left me confused. Just play. Actually, the whole time I was when she was playing, I thought she was playing Master Exploder.
I was just having fun because it was a cartoon out of left field to remind people, hey, we're watching a cartoon. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Okay. In that case, I'll pass it back to Ninja.
Here we go.
Alrighty. Now, funny enough, I know that Toon wanted me to go on the whole objective opinions thing, but I actually found something I hate even more in this episode. And I don't use the word hate often, but I do absolutely hate how this episode demonizes Applejack's actual criticism, because it's a hell of a lot better than the other two. Now let Papa Ninja sit you down on my knee and tell you what goddamn criticism is, because I'm going to be quoting a little bit from my bro Fat Man Falling. I don't know if you'll see this or not, because you see, kids, saying something is good or bad means the exact same thing to someone who wants criticism, because overall, your opinion doesn't actually matter. However, how you got to that opinion matters. For example, if I say that I like this episode, that doesn't really mean anything. Saying that I like this episode because of Applejack being cool actually merits a specific aspect of the work that can be taken as good feedback. As good feedback in the ways that they write that character. So, while I agree with cartoons that everyone needs to take criticism fairly, I'd like to argue that they didn't fucking give any. You know, these two critics, in giant quotation marks, don't give a single ounce of criticism. They just showered them with praise with no actual catalyst or lens in which to admire the work. They just said that it's good, and that's absolute garbage. So the fact that Rarity got on Applejack's case on her opinions, I wanted to RKO that pretentious marshmallow so hard that Sweetie Belle would feel it.
Well, alrighty then.
Wow.
Yes.
To think I was violent talking about Cool Cat.
Okay, bye-bye PG-13 rating then. All right.
I'm surprised you know what an RKO is.
Oh.
Yes.
I know that he knows. It's a meme, okay? He's up to date with all the memes. Would you rather him do John Cena? That's the only other wrestling meme.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
It's getting better here. But yeah, I hated this episode's portrayal of what actual criticism means, and I hated that Applejack was portrayed as the stupid one, when in actuality she was the best goddamn critic in the room. #Applejack did nothing wrong, and I shall drop the mic and pass it back to Blissy.
Thank you, British. Because, there are other things that bother me in this episode, but I don't want to meander too much or, hogging the show, but I needed to get that out.
Well... So my negative kind of bounces off kind of Golden and Ninja a little bit here, but I feel like this episode, while I can say I can hardly enjoy it, I don't think, I can't really speak on behalf of kids until I actually go up and ask them, but I feel like this wasn't a kid-friendly episode. Except for that one moment with Rarity. And here's why. While I can agree with Golden Fox that the moral should have been fixed because it is playing on some dangerous vibes because somebody could take it that way, I could spot the moral as from a more positive light. Like, they're trying to explain that while it's good to have an opinion and critique, yes, you should explain why you feel that way, and you should also go out of your way to, you should also stop to consider that no, somebody put effort into this work. The least thing you could do is be open-minded of that before you start critiquing. And I'm a hypocrite when I say that because, here's a good example. I find that somebody taking the assets of, say, my work, like an art piece I already made, and then taking the art piece of, say, something Silverpool made, and then copy and pasting them together, literally doing nothing, and then slapping it on a background that's already made, and then calling it fan art. I find that to be, in my opinion, see, I'm going to do what Applejack did. In my opinion, that is lazy artwork style. That's not art because you didn't make it yourself. You copy and pasted somebody else's work. But stop and think about it for a minute. Someone still went through the effort to make that because they wanted to show something different in some way. Because, like, maybe this image never existed until now. The fact of the matter is, and Ninja even explained this to me too, somebody went out of their way and put an effort into doing that. Give them a little credit.
Yeah.
And I like that moral. The problem with it, though, is that it needed to be tightened up because it could also be taken in a different way, which is what Golden Fox basically explained, and that can be dangerous. But hold on. But at the end of the day, this wasn't. It's like I can enjoy it as an adult, but I don't feel. But my inner child was saying, "This isn't fun. This is kind of dry and sad."
Yeah, I get it.
My inner child was like, "I'm just gonna go color with crayons or something. I'm done." But it's like, okay, well, I'll educate myself.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me sad a little bit because there was an opportunity here to have a really good moral, but it wasn't executed properly. And all the ideas, like what Ninja just said, that the critics could have been better. Applejack did not need to be hit with the stupid stick again.
The idiot stick, but same
yeah. But
yeah, pretty much.
It's like, nah, it is what it is. I mean, it's not my most favorite episode. It's not my least favorite. It's not the worst video I've ever seen. It's not the worst Applejack episode I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen worse Applejack episodes.
Yeah, nothing's gonna compare this to Somebody to Watch Over Me.
To be fair, okay. Now let me say something. Let me say a little thing. When it comes to bad Applejack episodes, a lot of people point to Applejack as the catalyst of the thing being bad. I think Applejack is the best goddamn thing in this episode.
No, she was good.
I can agree with that.
No, I'm not even blaming Applejack at all. I'm basically blaming the writing here and that it needed to be tightened up.
Yeah, no, I see exactly what you mean.
I don't think any of the characters were bad. Everything needed to be tightened up. The other judges needed to critique more. Applejack did not need to be hit with the idiot stick, and the moral needed to be a little bit more explained. And for the love of God, can we make it a little bit more entertaining for the kids, please?
Seriously.
I can agree with you.
But yeah, so I will pass it back to Poetic.
Prophetic, but close enough.
Sorry.
Prophetic.
I'm used to people getting that part of my name wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm a bad host.
Man, Blissy, you are just. Need to get on the ball.
Are you on the ball? Get on the ball.
Get on the ball.
Get on the ball.
Yes, I'm sorry I made you sad. Can I give you a cookie?
Okay.
Here,
I would take her cookies, honestly. Like I have them.
Don't take my cookies.
I'm talking about Prose's cookies.
I was about to say, don't take my cookies.
I'm offering you cookies, and he's saying that you should take the cookies and give me yours.
Nom.
There you go.
Anyways.
I almost thought you forgot about that, but anyway.
I never forget a good cookie. That is your out of context quote of the day from ToonKritic.
Never forget a good cookie.
Hashtag context is for stream.
Yes.
Oh Christ. But anyways, my negative. I know that Applejack, technically speaking, didn't do anything wrong because, like I said before, like as a judge, and she was doing her job within context of what Rarity said she asked her to be a judge for. It's just her being in this situation, it's really weird for me to say this because I am a huge Applejack fan, but I don't feel like she should have been here. I don't feel like Rarity made the right call in choosing Applejack as a judge.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Mostly everyone was going, what? I went, what too?
And if I may, I was actually bouncing a couple of ideas off of Primeval Brony, my boyfriend, who's in the chat. Hi, hon. We were talking a little bit earlier today, and the idea that we ended up coming up with was instead of Applejack, that Fluttershy take her place. And I know that people would probably, like, the way that an episode like this with Fluttershy would go would probably have a lot of fans crying out, "Oh no, like she's regressing again." But it would, the way I would justify it is that she would still have a hard time, like, okay, the way I had it was, like, the designers' outfits just start getting progressively worse and worse, and Fluttershy has a hard time voicing that opinion, but it's solely because, like, A, these people are complete strangers to her, and B, like, she doesn't have a lot of expertise in fashion. Like, it would still make sense for her to be there because A, she was technically a former model, and B, she's shown knowledge of sewing. But, like, knowing how Fluttershy is, she wouldn't feel like that's enough justification for her to, like, be giving criticism to other people who have more expertise in this field than her. And I think that if it had gone that route and Fluttershy had been the judge instead, then we could have gotten more about everybody having, like, valuable opinions. Like, people, like, a lot of people think that their opinions just don't matter because, like, they don't have, like, expertise in a certain field that someone else might. But I think that that could have been a good moral to lead to that if Fluttershy had been here. Just, like, everybody's opinions matter. Like, nobody has a right or wrong opinion. Like, I know who said it. I'm just blanking on the name because I'm nervous as hell right now. But
oh, it's okay.
Yeah, but I know for a fact somebody said that nobody has a right or wrong opinion, and I'm just like, I just think that could have been a good moral to be explored if Fluttershy had been in this episode instead.
You know, like, thinking about it, the whole bit in I forget the name of the rarity, but it was one of her first, the one where she actually makes clothes for everyone. Suited for success. That's the one. Fluttershy does give a lot of good criticism. She goes on that entire tirade. I bet she could give criticism on these peoples with the clothes and the such.
The funny thing you should mention about that is that the chat was just mentioning that, saying that Fluttershy should have taken it in. I said that, well, that was only one scene. Most people forgot. But this episode is being referred to, so you should think about it. Well, there's a lot of other moments that kind of outshine it or shadow it.
If you're saying that, you know, the show forgot about that episode, Hoity-Toity's in it. And he was introduced in Suiting for Success.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I didn't say that Honest Apple's overshadowing it. I'm saying that in the very episode Suited for Success, yes, there is the moment where Fluttershy was being critical, but the rest of that episode shined a lot better, that it almost overshadows that little critique scene.
I suppose that, you know, back then Fluttershy had such little personality that people took what they could get.
Yeah.
And she did. Like, back season 1, Fluttershy didn't have much going on.
Other than, I'm shy. So.
I'm shy, I like animals.
Yeah. I admit when I first thought of this idea, I would have been a little worried about, like, the idea of, like, the whole reset button thing with, like, people saying that, like, in almost every Fluttershy episode, like, they have to hit the reset button for the episode to work. But I also justified that by just having Rarity, like, pull her aside and, like, mention all these times that she stood up for herself, with Fluttershy responding with the fact that she doesn't know these ponies and she's not a fashion expert. So.
Anywho, would you like to pass it back to Kiefer?
Yeah, I think Kiefer's the only one left.
Yeah, okay. So, thing with the episode. For the things that they were setting up from Act 1 to Act 2, I just felt like Act 3 was so unsatisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, it just felt rushed. honestly, because like they bring in the first 2 acts. This episode felt like they had a lot of ideas, and they were trying to put all the ideas in one episode, and they kept loose ends everywhere. Like they brought up Apple Bloom being the one that's into fashion and everything. Like they explicitly state Applejack is like, Apple Bloom, you know more about this stuff and everything. And she does know how to make aesthetics mixed with functionality.
I suppose, yeah.
She's shown that throughout multiple episodes since season 1. But we get no resolution for that except Apple Bloom being at the fashion show with no lines. Then we have, Applejack pointing out that she's happy that she's critiquing everyone, that people, it's like, I feel good now taking this action. And then the next time we see her critiquing stuff, she's super Simon Cowell levels of angry. Mm-hmm. Even though, and the thing is, if the fashion designers did not listen to her, I could see her getting mad. Because then she would feel like, why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
But the thing that made no sense to me is that they were doing what she said to a T. Like they went with the scene of, showing the very Sgt. Peppery goth jacket that Inky made. And then she was like, they're like, there's too many buttons. And they go to show her taking the time to take out every button but 2 to make it like a poncho. Like, it's not like they're not listening to her. But if they weren't, she would be like, she would be more justified in her being angry to the point that she takes the feather hat that literally Lily said that she took so long on, and ripping it up, basically. Like, yeah. And then telling them that their stuff is worthless. Like, there's no justification for that scene. And but I think the thing that cemented it of how rushed the ending was, and how everything felt so loosely put together, is the fact that the designs did not change since the beginning.
No.
If it had this resolution of like, Applejack she doesn't understand this fashion world, but she has respect for the fact that they put so much hard work into it, like how she put so much hard work into making the apples.
Yeah.
But also the fashion designers are like, well, you did have some points, and they make adjustments to make the clothing not just fashionable, not just aesthetically pleasing, but also functional, because that's not a bad artistic moral. And for example, maybe with literally Lacey's ball gowns, instead of her using super heavy fabric, she decides, well, maybe I can actually use lace, like I can use lighter fabrics instead of this heavy cottony looking stuff.
That's funny because her name is Lily Lace.
Maybe Inky could not have 1,000,000 buttons, and she could point out, yeah, this is not really a friendly jacket to people who aren't unicorns. And whatever Tim Gunpony does, like maybe he could take off some of the sharp edges and make it more streamlined designs, and show that like it's not just a one person learning a lesson, that it's that everyone can grow from criticism, both the person giving criticism and learning how to give criticism, and the designers learning, hey, critique can be given to me, but I don't have to follow it to a T, Yeah.
And I just realized something. Like, Inky Rose is a Pegasus. You would think that she would know that all those buttons would be difficult for other ponies that aren't unicorns.
Her legs are long enough that she can reach the hard-reaching buttons.
Well, as much as, I hate to sound like that one person, but if you've seen in some episodes, they've been using their hooves, like, a lot of ponies have used their hooves aside from magic. Like, there's one shot in season 1 where Applejack is holding his stick full of, like, marshmallows at a fire.
I mean, I get that, but the thing is with buttons is that they're kind of finicky,
Yeah.
But, they're finicky to people with human hands. But my point being, it just felt like they brought up all this stuff. They had all this build up for multiple things. And either they never approached it again, they never had, like...
They never did anything with it.
Maybe Applejack could get Apple Bloom to help out as kind of like that middle ground buffer, because it was a game of extremes. I think that was the big thing that Rarity could have played a role with. I'm only bringing this stuff up because I'm the last person, so it's like Rarity could have been that buffer, because Rarity has had episodes where she's experienced, you know, both the artesian side and the functionality working side. That was something Rarity got heavily critiqued upon in that caused the conflict and inspiration manifestation. Yeah. And then you have it, but she was not that buffer. She was just kind of ignoring the problem until it bubbled up, and it maybe, and you know, Hoity-Toity and Photo Finish were not good critics at all. They were just kind of hug boxes. And then you have Applejack, which at first it was like, okay, I can understand some of your stuff, especially with Inky's being like, it just looks black.
Black on black.
But she became the extreme in the second act. And I wish there was a buffer, because that's the thing. Something that I think should be taught to kids is that things are not black and white. You should always try to find that middle ground. And I feel like when there's not a middle ground in an episode, it becomes detrimental both to the story and to the initial demographic watching.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. I feel like this episode could have been pretty good if it was just tightened and kind of cleaned up. It felt like we were watching maybe a second draft of a script.
That's what I said. It needs to tighten it up.
Yeah, my boyfriend actually kind of described it as a season 1 episode in the midst of, like, just a bunch of episodes that are giving the fandom, like, a lot of things that they want. And I was like, I can sort of see that, actually.
But yeah, so that was my thing, and I guess we have made it to the end of Honest Apple.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
thank God it's over.
Yep.
While I get the meme face winner set up, Key, if they've made it this far, what should they do?
If we made it this far, I want you to put hashtag literally Lily in there.
Oh boy.
Literally.
Oh my God.
Literally Lily.
Like, oh my God.
I
can't even literally, oh my God.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Okay, so...
Oh, that was the... You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I know, I was like, is that a reference to The Princess Bride? No way!
I haven't seen The Princess Bride, so I wouldn't know.
Anyways, so, for what we've recently started doing, we've started doing the Meme That Face Roundtable thingy. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Roundtable Meme Face, I think, is what we're going with. So, I'm here to show you the winner of the last episode. Honestly, this one actually was pretty good to me. Here we go. The winner of last episode is this picture right here. There's Yandere, then there's Fuckboy Dere.
Yes!
Oh, wow. I like the one I put. Hello, my name is 16. May I please kill you?
Oh God, that face.
That is too beautiful.
But as per usual, how we always do this, we're going to give you the next image to work with. Now, I scoured through this episode to find the best face, and I think I have found the best face to work with. It is right here. Whoop, hang on, it's a little too big.
Please tell me it's Lily Lace.
Yep, it's this picture right
I knew
here.
it. I knew it.
Wait, oh God.
This face right here. What you are going to do is you're going to put the best subtitle that you can to this. Go to Twitter, take this picture, and put the best subtitle you can for it.
I think I had a little too many burritos.
Tweet at me. Tweet at ToonKritic your best subtitle or caption for this picture, and tag it with hashtag Roundtable Meme Face. The winner will be shown in the next episode.
Who Who made the meme that won last episode? You didn't say their name.
Buttons. Buttons was the winner. I don't remember who the winner was the previous one.
You have a chance to redeem yourself. You can do this. I believe in you.
So, once again, thank you guys for turning out for this episode. And we will see you on the next one, which is a royal problem. It is
Hell yeah!
The Celestia and Luna episode we've been waiting 7 fucking seasons for.
Yeah!
Yep.
Woo!
We're gonna get to that when we get to that. What? Oh, you said finally, not by the way. My bad. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah,
thank you guys for turning out for this, and we'll see you on the next episode.